guys, and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell so you guys know when I upload next. Today's video is something that has been requested. A lot of people ask me on DMs, hey Steph, how do you record? What do you use? How did you create your intro? Well, in this video, I'll be sharing you guys my tips, my tricks, and my equipment of how I record, what I use to create all of my content. Alright, enough talking. Be quiet. Let's get to what you guys are here to know.
You are Miss Ohio USA for 2020.
First and foremost, I want to tell you guys the most important thing to create content is just to get it out there. It's so important to just create with whatever you have. It doesn't matter if you don't have a good camera at the moment, just get your content out there for the world to see. Number one, super important. I started with my iPhone. It wasn't even the best iPhone out there. If you guys go back, you guys can tell with the quality. But I was getting content out there. I did what I wanted to do. I recorded what I wanted, and I was starting my YouTube videos with just my little iPhone, which is one of the most important things, is just getting your content out there. Start. Doesn't matter with what you have, just get something out there. Now, so I started my whole YouTube journey with my iPhone, and then I slowly looked up what was good to vlog in, and I realized that the G7X was something that everybody used. The G7X, this one right here, is the one that I have. It's a Mark II, I believe. I think they just came out with a Mark III, but I have the Mark II. I've had it for about a year and a half now, and I absolutely love it when it comes to vlogging, being out and about. It really picks up on whatever lighting you're in. If you're a vlogger, I definitely recommend the G7X. It really focuses on everything that you need when it comes to vlogging, the light changes, the movements. It's really, really good when it comes to vlogging. Now, what I did notice when I recorded here in my room is that my light changed. It didn't matter if I was recording and I took only 15 minutes to record, my lighting would change. And I think it's because it's so used to changing with whatever light is in the room. It's really good for vlogging, like I said. It's so used to, it's basically made for vlogging, not for artificial lights. And I think that's what makes it change. If you guys go back to some of my videos, you guys will see that my lighting changes when I try to edit. Like, let's say I said something that I didn't want to say, I clipped that part out, and when you see the last pieces that I chose, their lights are completely different. Like, the lighting is completely different. And there was something that was really annoying me, especially when I did like makeup looks or get ready with me. Like, my makeup would look completely different in one part of the video, and then a whole different one in the beginning or at the end. So I really wanted to find a camera that really focused on, you know, artificial lighting and was good with natural lighting, because it just depends. Right now I'm recording on the 80D, and it's one that I've had my eye on for a very long time, but I really wanted to get the 5D Mark III, which I heard is absolutely amazing when it comes to recording, especially like in a little studio or in my room. But I believe the 5D Mark III is no longer available, so I was trying to look for one that was already used, but it just never happened. And I honestly am not going to buy the Mark V because it's super expensive. You guys know right now I'm preparing for Miss USA, so I am more focused on that. But I did purchase the Canon 80D, and I think the lighting is absolutely amazing. It works for vlogging as well. It focuses really good. I did realize that my G7X does focus a lot better in natural lighting, like outside. If it's super bright and I walk into a room that's super dark, it does it really quick. This one doesn't, and I think it's because it's just not made for vlogging, which the other one is. So I have both that I could, you know, use. If I'm doing a vlog, I'll use the G7X. If I'm here in my little studio in my room, I will use the Canon 80D. I have it on auto. It's just recording, and I fix a little bit of the colors in Final Cut, which I will get to in a moment. To compare the Canon 80D and the Canon G7X, here are some things to know. The price range is super important. Like I said, sometimes you have it to blow, sometimes you don't. So I started with the G7X, and to be honest with you, they're pretty much, when I bought them, they're pretty much the same. The G7X for me was about $700, and this one ended up being around $900 and something. So I love this camera. The lighting is absolutely beautiful. It just picks up on the natural colors, which I absolutely love. And again, the G7X, I love it for vlogging because it literally changes the lighting like this. Like I could be in a bright day, go into a dark room, and it just automatically changes where everything is visual and you can see it. So that's super important. So I guess it just depends on what kind of content you're creating for your YouTube. Is it a studio? Is it a vlogging? It all really just depends. If you guys don't know, the G7X is a point and shoot camera, and the 80D is a DSLR. So there's a big difference when it comes again to how it performs in specific lighting and what you actually want it to do. Another thing about the difference between the two is obviously the G7X, you cannot change the lens. The 80D you can, so it could also work for pictures that you really want to take and get a little micro lens, things like that. It could really just ump your game when it comes to Instagram or even YouTube. The G7X, you could take pictures, obviously it is a camera, but you're limited on the amount of things that you can do, you know, your creativity, just because you cannot change the lens and you can't put a little micro to zoom in on something really beautiful or to create something that you might be imagining. So you have to really understand what you really want. For me, if I knew better, I could talk to Stephanie a couple years ago when I first started my YouTube. I would have automatically just jumped into the 80D because I am basically always recording in my room, and I do vlogs. You guys are going to see a lot of vlogging, but this does it too. Of course, the lighting isn't as best, but you can always fix it a little bit when it comes to editing. So another thing is the minimum focus and zoom in distance. The G7X is actually much better when it comes to zooming because it zooms in a lot further than the 80D. But that's where the specific lenses come in for the 80D. You can definitely change your lens and zoom in a little bit more, or get that micro lens to really pop out whatever it is that you're taking a picture of. So the G7X zooms in about 15.7, and the Canon 80D zooms into a 9 point something. So it just depends on what you guys really want to do with this camera. 80D takes an amazing pictures. It takes an amazing video. So if you're asking me, I would go with the 80D just because it's what I want. But if you're a vlogger and that's all you want to do and you want to just vlog away, go ahead and mark that G7X. It's the bomb. So when it comes to audio, this is a big one as well. A lot of people like to just record the audio separately and attach it when it comes to the editing process. But others like to have a clean audio with the video. That's me. I'd rather just skip that step. But it does sound a lot better when you record, and you can just record on your phone. Honestly, you don't need something separate to record. They do sell them, but let's just say we're just trying to save money here, okay? So the G7X does not come with an external little plug-in to have an external mic. You just have to use what's built in. The 80D, you can attach an external mic, which I have a little external mic, and that's what I'm using for audio. And as you guys can tell, my audio sounds good. I enhance it a little bit in Final Cut Pro. Other than that, I do not use my phone for an external mic. I can, but it's just double the work, and if I think it sounds pretty good, then it sounds pretty good. I could make it better, but but I have an external mic. I actually had this external mic for a very long time since I bought my G7X, and then I realized that I couldn't plug it into my G7X. Basically, that wraps up my cameras. I have the G7X and the 80D. I'm currently using more of the 80D. My G7X was the one I started with. So, vlogging, G7X, studio, bomb pictures, Canon 80D. It just depends what your YouTube is about and what you really want to create. Now, when it comes to editing, guys, editing is absolutely the key. And it just depends what you're used to, what you're accustomed to. So literally from the start, I started using Final Cut Pro. It was something that I just saw and I just wanted to learn it. I actually started with iMovie, and it works perfectly if you just want to cut and put together a simple video. But if you really want to get in depth, you really have to put in the money and really put in the time to learn every single, program. A lot of people like Adobe Premiere. I am a Final Cut girl to the end. Maybe one day I'll switch. I'm not exactly sure. But the reason why I love Final Cut Pro is because not only do I know it, but it's just has so many plugins that you can put in. It has that green screen. I know Adobe Premiere has green screen, it has all that, but I already know it. I think it just depends on what you really like and what you have available to you. If you have the Adobe Cloud and you have Premiere, don't waste your money on Final Cut Pro, just use Premiere. It is what it is. It's the same thing. Just edit your content and put it on YouTube. So I literally just use Final Cut Pro to edit. Chop up my videos, make them look as clean as possible, create my intros, same way, chop them up, put them together, put a filter, put a transition in there, whatever fits, whatever I like. It's all up to you. But guys, I will tell you one thing that changed my whole game, and that is Keynote. And that's actually free if you have a Apple computer, if you have a Apple phone. It's literally free, guys, and this thing to me is amazing. You just have to really learn how to work it. That's how I created this for my intro. That's how I created this, and that's how I created this. So you guys see this thing moving right here, right over here, I believe it's at. I created all of this on Keynote. Super easy, super cool, and it looks amazing. You always want to have some kind of aesthetic when it comes to your YouTube channel. You really want to make it look like you're in a different world when someone clicks on your channel. And when you click on my channel, you guys can guess my favorite color. It's purple. It's just something that I've always wanted to create. I really wanted my YouTube to have some kind of aesthetic, and I'm not saying this is my forever aesthetic. It could change. It has changed. For those who know me, have followed me since the beginning, but you really want to create an aesthetic for your channel. It's so important, guys. You really want someone to just be in a different world when they click into your channel. When you click into my channel, you're in a purple world, you're in Stephanie's world, and you know everything from pageants to life hacks to whatever these kind of videos are, to story time. You have a little bit of everything when you come into my video, but I promise you, if you saw my channel without my photos, you would know it was my channel. You really just want to get creative and really use it. So Final Cut, Keynote, and last but not least, Photoshop. Photoshop is super important to create those little thumbnails that you have, like mine right here, half purple. I'm really trying to create that. Sometimes I change this part right here, make it full purple, or make it full of the marble color that I have in the back. I change up the wording. I still use one font, two fonts, the top and the bottom, but I always make it the same. As you guys can tell, I want it to just be consistent, and it's super easy. When you create a format, you save it in Photoshop form, and then you just open it back up and drop in a picture, change the title, and boom, it's done. put it on a video as your cover photo, and you're good to go. It is that easy, and it's that important to do it. In and out. Consistency is the key, guys. It's so easy. But again, for Keynote, it's super important to understand what Keynote does, because it could do so much for you, and it's free. I can't emphasize that enough. It is free. Gratis. Es gratis. So what Keynote does is creates different animations for you. It's already built in. All you literally have to do is click it and it does the animation for you. It has fireworks, it has keyboard, it has zoom in, zoom out, slide, up and down, side to side, whatever, spin around. Whatever you can imagine, it does, but you just have to get creative with it and really explore it and learn it. So what I do is I use all three at the same time. So to create my intro, I had to use all three. You guys saw my intro. In the beginning, it closed. So what I had to do is I got my banner. If you guys have not seen my banner, just click on my channel and you guys will see my banner. So what I did is I got my banner and I cut it in half. I cut it in half in Photoshop and I exported as a PNG. So only half was showing, the rest, the other half was gone. So it's only a PNG, and I did that for both sides. And then I put that in Keynote and I made one slide to one side and the other slide to the other side. And then I reversed it. So I opened it for the beginning and then I closed it for the ending. It's that easy. And then behind it, it was a green screen, and I just plugged in that green screen in plug and it worked. And it looked absolutely amazing. I can go literally through what I did for you guys if you guys want that. It's a little bit complicated because you have to have Final Cut, you have to have Keynote, and you have to have Photoshop in order for this to happen, because you have to make it into a PNG so you can have. It's a little complicated, but if you guys really mess with it and really learn it, guys, it is a game changer. You can literally create whatever you want with these three things and have a bomb intro, outro, plugins, whatever it is you want, name it. I can make something move right here, whatever, and boom. I can make my name pop out right here. Whatever I want, I can make it happen. And it's because of those three things that I have. Putting it all together makes an amazing, amazing video. And with your own imagination and your own creativity, you can create something that fits your channel and fits your personality. And that's the most important thing, is having your channel having an amazing, amazing look because of your personality is coming through it. That's pretty much it, guys. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to know. Comment down below if you guys want me to show you a whole thing of Final Cut or Keynote or Photoshop, how to export, how to create an intro. I can do that. I'll just show you guys how I made mine, and you guys can get so creative, I'm telling you, which is the most important thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Until next time, adios.